We're entering an era of lies. And this is not unusual for people in general. It's just unusual for America, the land of the free. You see, for most of our country's history, certainly since the early 1900s, we've mocked the other communist countries, namely the Soviet Union. We've mocked their government controls. We've mocked the fact that governments tell people what they're allowed to think, what they're allowed to say, what they're not allowed to say. That's become something that was always a punchline for Americans, mocking other people. Now, we have a ministry of truth under the DHS in response to the right gaining more and more power and exposing everything from dirty teachers to dirty Disney, exposing the dirty Joe Biden family, constantly exposing the truth. The response to that from the system was revealing. The system didn't look around and say, well, they know, guys. Hey, maybe we should get some reforms done. The system looked around at all these uncomfortable truths being revealed, and the system said, we need to stop them from speaking. This rotten little rat DHS Secretary Mayorkas went on TV this weekend and actually attempted to defend the Ministry of Truth.
I believe that this working group that gathers together best practices, makes sure that our work is coordinated, consistent with those best practices, that we're safeguarding the right of free speech, that we're safeguarding civil liberties, I think is an extraordinarily important endeavor.
Why do we need a new government agency to safeguard free speech? That doesn't seem to make any sense, right? Well, we all know what the game is here. We all know they're going to lie about it the same way they lied so much about COVID. Remember, it's always going to be for the public good, the common good, the public health. Hey, look, we have to step in and monitor what you say. Otherwise, the public might be in danger. We're actually protecting your freedom. That's what they'll sell all their tyranny as. And we know exactly how serious they are about defending freedom of speech because of this Nina Jankowicz, this hag who actually is in charge of the Ministry of Truth. You see, she has videos all over the internet of her trashing everything on the right, spreading misinformation about everything, including Hunter Biden's laptop. I'm not talking about right versus left. I'm talking about this woman is all over the internet spreading what we now know are easily verifiable lies all over the place. Mayorkas is asked about the fact you just appointed a communist hag? What? And he says she's going to be neutral.
Do you think the person you chose to head of it expressed too much politics on their Twitter feed and it's caused some consternation?
Eminently qualified individual, a recognized expert on battling the threat of disinformation that presents a threat to the security of our homeland from Russia, from China, from Iran, from the cartels.
Disinformation. She's been battling it, haven't you heard? She's battling that disinformation. Here's 52 seconds of this woman battling disinformation.
As somebody who studies disinformation, yesterday was really tough. I kept thinking about how in October I testified before the House Intelligence Committee, and I told them that disinformation was dismantling democracy. But I was challenged to provide examples of how that was happening. I talked about how Gretchen Whitmer was nearly kidnapped because of disinformation and incitement to violence online, and I talked about the suppression of Black voters, and I talked about how malign actors like Russia are using disinformation to tear us apart and polarize our society even further. But yesterday's violence in the U.S. Capitol is the starkest example yet that disinformation is not just dank memes or silly TikTok videos. It actually has real life effects, not only on the functioning of our republic, but on public safety. So please take some care before you share.
Public safety. Get used to that word. You're going to be hearing a lot of it. And look, let's not make the mistake of saying this woman isn't qualified. She's extremely qualified to do what they want her to do. That's censor you, monitor you. And remember, it doesn't start out with jackbooted thugs in uniform knocking on your door saying, I saw that Facebook post, Tina. Turn around, put your hands on the wall, you're coming with us. It starts out with government agencies like this intimidating you. Maybe they don't show up at your door. Maybe they make a phone call. Maybe they send you a letter. FBI, just wanted you to know we were aware of this Facebook post. We're monitoring the situation. Just enough to silence enough people.